Ed Gun Leshy presents Squirrel Hunting Nut Thieves. Welcome to another episode of the Ed Gun Leshy channel. So I've got some amazing scope cam footage like you're seeing below to share with you in just a quick second. If you hate intros and you want to get right into the action, I made some picture-in-picture here that you can watch while it takes 60 seconds to cover a few quick housekeeping items before we get started. So I know it's annoying, guys, to hear creators constantly asking to subscribe, like, and comment. But the truth is, my biggest weapon in defending this channel from the constant attacks from people trying to control what you get to watch on YouTube is actually you all. So if you enjoy this channel or hate someone trying to censor what you choose to watch, please consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and dropping a comment while you're watching this video. Super simple. And the impact is immediate. So supporting the channel by grabbing some merch is also obviously greatly appreciated. So I just restocked that store. So if you've been on the fence, go grab yourself something like a Table for One shirt or a Backyard Bullies shirt or hat. Make sure to use code EDGUN, EDGUN, to get 10% off your order. I'll drop a link to the description in that. Finally, one last thing. A big shout out to my Patreon supporters you're seeing here. I've got a new private Telegram page that I just kind of integrated for the Patreon supporters where you get to chat, answer questions, or I'll answer questions, provide tips, and a glimpse into a little behind the scenes of the Ed Gun Leshy channel. So check out my public Telegram page as well to get a little bit of taste of that. Access to everything that I just went through will be at the top of the description. So thanks again, guys, for all your support. Now, let's dive into what you clicked on this thumbnail for. Steve over at AVS Slugs has been sending me a ton of different bullets to test within the Leshy 2 platform, all the different calibers. So this is the 40 grain 254 bullet. I think it's the dish out of my 450 millimeter Leshy 2. So I'll do some long range stuff to give you guys the full thumbs up like I did with the 32 grains. But I really have no doubt, just by looking at how stable this 40 grainer was just right out of the muzzle. When testing any ammo, especially airgun bullets, I like to do some long-range work like this before I recommend people spending their good money on it. So I stayed away from doing this in the past just because I'm typically shooting 30 yards in my backyard. But with access to my friend's amazing farm, that has totally changed. Filming the full shot from muzzle to target allows you to see the stability of the bullet or pellet, and painting them like this makes it even easier for you to see. So there's so much that goes into shooting a good group or a sub-MOA group, as well as, honestly, the capability of the shooter themselves. I'm average at best, but the end goal is to get the bullet downrange accurately with as much power loss from the muzzle to the target in the most efficient way possible. Right, so I'm going to really dive into this in an upcoming video, but what if I were to tell you the difference in foot-pounds at 100 yards between a super stable bullet flying 880 feet per second and a really unstable one flying 1,000 feet per second was less than 2 foot-pounds? It blew my mind when I did it myself, and this has nothing to do with the type of gun, right? It's like throwing a perfect spiral or a duck. So we're going to dive more into that, and I'm going to bring on some people that know way more about the stability factors and the math that goes behind it, but I'm a simpleton. So I did it, and I'm going to do it again with a lab radar and do it on film to show you guys exactly that. And we'll come to some conclusions during that video. But enough of this rambling. Let's get back to some squirrels. Here's a double tap. Well, it was a double tap attempt with that 450 setup in the 40 grain bullet. This is obviously not on purpose, but this is pretty badass. Watch the second shot here clip the first one as it was tumbling after that pass through. You can really hear that hesitation between the two shots. It was like ba ba versus ba ba. So I just got to get some more work in with this setup. I don't think I've shown my 450 setup. So here's how I'm running it right now. It's been driving me crazy that I can't double tap with this one versus like the 7.62 Hornet. The Leshy 2 is essentially a pistol. And after some research and observation on my different setups, I realized there was one grip that worked best in my hand. And it's the one that I have on the Hornet. So I ordered a couple more from Egg Gun West to replace the original OEM grip I have on my 450 right now. So I'll report back if that was it, but I have a strong suspicion it's a big component of why I keep getting double taps that feel and look more like quick follow-ups like this one. Kind of illustrate my point. Here's one with the 7.62 Hornet from the double taps video. In slow-mo, you can even hear it. But in real time, which I'll show you here in a second, that's when you can really hear and see it. Here it is in real time. Now that is a double tap. And while I know people can go way faster than that, this is the baseline for me and what I would like to do out of any one of these setups. All right, I'll stop ranting about my inabilities. Back to some single shot snipes. I didn't make any adjustment from the 32 grain AVS bullets with these 40 grain. So they're going a little bit slower, and these are going about 807, which is about 57 foot-pounds. So that's more than 5, maybe in 6x the power needed to humanely take a squirrel, and is why you're seeing such powerful pass-throughs here. So a safe backstop like you see here is just an absolute must with these modern day air guns. These things are not toys. In fact, when I'm not testing stuff like this, I typically turn these way down. Sometimes even in the 500 range, but a lot of times in that 600 feet per second range. You'll need to switch to something like a Hades pellet to shoot that slow, but the results at close ranges are just as lethal, a ton quieter, and you could really limit that pass through, making it a lot safer for backyard pest control. I think a lot of people, me sometimes included, gravitate to the mo power, right? Which is fine when it's needed. Unless you got T-Rexes roaming your backyard, trust me, the slow and heavy approach is the way to go for so many reasons. But you guys want power, and in this vid, especially testing bullets, that's exactly what I'm giving you. Let's switch things up a bit as I switch over to the 7.62 Hornet with the single focal plane March Optics 1.5 to 15x. I love this little scope, and it's a great choice for a smaller setup like you're seeing here. So the MTR5 reticle is about as clean and out of your way as they come. I don't mind the floating aspect. I know some people like to have that edge-to-edge reticle, and there are different options that you can choose from, but this one's perfect for me. And with the illumination pegged, it's like you're seeing here, it's like a red dot with enough reference points to comfortably take this out to 100 yards, although I'd probably choose a different one for long range stuff. But you could with this scope if you needed to, and well beyond, obviously, if you're going to swap this between an air gun and something else and you're safe. I have this 44 grain Hades going about 700 feet per second. That's a ton of power still, given the weight of the pellet. But watch this energy dump here. Boom. I mean, that is just lights out. With the Reaper Reg, you can actually make quick adjustments and bring this even slower or faster if you want, without having to degas a gun, take it apart, or anything like that. It's about as simple as it gets. For fun, I'll run this thing actually super slow in the summer and just lob what looks like hand grenades at chipmunks. With the weather getting a little warmer, we're not getting that far away from those little chippers, by the way. Here's a double tap attempt with the 26 grain AVS, in this case 223, out of the monster 600 millimeter Leshy 2. It has that same old school OEM grip where I'm struggling with it, so I'll be putting a new grip on this one as well, and hopefully I'll be sending double taps and get a few right into the bread basket. All right, so back to the 250 millimeter 7.62 Hornet, and this is the one that's got the grip that I've been able to successfully double tap on. This is a pretty mangy looking tree rat, to be honest with you. It's actually pretty normal now that I think about it. I don't think it's mange, but it's just that transition from winter to summer coats. Thanks for watching the Ed Gun Leshy channel. Want more backyard hunting videos? Grab your favorite beverage and get yourself caught up. There's hundreds just like the one you just watched. Here's a couple favorites to get you started.